Madeleine Swann, a young girl, witnesses her mother's murder by Lyutsifer Safin, whose family was assassinated by Swann's father, Mr. White, on orders from Ernst Stavro Blofeld. Swann shoots Safin and flees, falling into a frozen lake, but she is rescued by Safin. Swann travels to Matera with James Bond in the present, following Blofeld's arrest. She requests that Bond pay a visit to his ex-lover Vesper Lynd's grave, where he survives an explosion orchestrated by Spectre operatives led by Primo, a mercenary with a bionic eye. Bond escapes with Swann but ends their relationship because he believes she has betrayed him. 5 years later, Spectre agents kidnap MI6 scientist Valdo Obrushev from a London laboratory and steal Project Heracles, a programmable DNA-targeting nanobot weapon developed under M's supervision. Bond, who is retired and living in Jamaica, is contacted by CIA ally Felix Leiter and State Department agent Logan Ash, who request Bond's assistance in rescuing Obrushev from a Spectre party in Cuba. Bond declines, but later accepts after Nomi, his successor as Agent 007, warns him not to interfere with her own extraction of Obrushev and connects him with M, who refuses to answer his questions about Heracles. Bond infiltrates the party with the help of Paloma, a Cuban agent. Blofeld disperses a nanobot mist to kill Bond while watching the gathering from Belmarsh through Primo's bionic eye. However, under Safin's orders, Obrushev reprogrammed the nanobots to kill the Spectre members instead. Bond, with the assistance of Paloma, outwits Nomi and transports Obrushev to Ash and Leiter aboard a trawler. After blowing up the ship, Ash, who is also working for Safin, shoots Leiter and traps him with Bond below deck, fleeing with Obrushev. Leiter succumbs to his injuries, but Bond escapes. Bond returns to London to question Blofeld about Obrushev's employer, but Blofeld reportedly only speaks to Swann, his psychiatrist. Swann is secretly forced by Safin to infect herself with a nanobot dose in order to assassinate Blofeld. Bond unknowingly infects himself with the nanobots by touching Swann in Belmarsh. Swann is too upset to confront Blofeld, who admits to Bond that he planned the explosion at Vesper's grave to make Bond believe Madeleine had betrayed him. Bond, enraged, briefly strangles Blofeld, allowing the nanobots to enter his system and kill him. Bond follows Swann to her childhood home in Norway, where they reconcile and he meets Matilda, her 5-year-old daughter. Swann insists she is not his child and shares information gathered by her father about Safin and the island owned by his family. The next day, MI6 alerts Bond that Ash is approaching, resulting in a chase through a nearby forest. Bond defeats his thugs and murders Ash in order to avenge Leiter's death, but Safin kidnaps Swann and Matilda. Q provides Bond and Nomi with a submersible glider to infiltrate Safin's headquarters, a missile base converted into a nanobot factory in the Sea of Japan. Bond confronts Safin, who flees with Matilda but later releases her, while Swann flees and rejoins Bond and Matilda. Nomi kills Obrushev by kicking him into an acid pool before escorting Swann and Matilda off the island. Bond assassinates Safin's remaining men, including Primo, and then remains to open the silo doors, allowing missiles launched from HMS Dragon to penetrate. When the silo doors begin to close, Bond rushes back inside, but is ambushed by Safin, who infects him with a nanobot vial programmed to kill Swann and Matilda. Bond shoots Safin and reopens the silo doors, but he stays on the island to protect Swann and Matilda. He radios Swann to express his love for her and Matilda, whom she confirms as his daughter. Bond is killed when the missiles strike the island and destroy the facility. Later, at MI6, M, Moneypenny, Nomi, Q, and Bill Tanner toast Bond. Swann tells Matilda a story about a man named James Bond while driving her to Matera. That's all guys. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe the channel. Hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment,